So there were some hard pills that I had to swallow if I really wanted to lose the weight and get healthy. The first one was that I wouldn't be able to get my biggest loser moment. So you might have heard of a show called The Biggest Loser. 10 years ago, that was like the big show for weight loss. I remember when it came on, it was just so inspiring. Like all these people came onto the show as contestants to lose the most amount of weight in the time that they had, or else they'd be eliminated. And then the winner would win like $100,000 or something, and they'd be new, fit, and everything. And I'd be watching that, and I'm pretty sure anyone who wanted to lose weight was watching that and just got so motivated and so inspired, being like, wow, I want to be like that. Like, I want to have that amazing transformation. Like you see their before and after, and it's only been like a few months, but they're able to completely change everything and they look so great. And you're watching and you're like, man, that could be me. And for the longest time, that's what I wanted too. Like I would get so frustrated when I wouldn't be able to lose weight quickly. Like I'm like, man, it's possible. Like they're doing it, so why can't I do it? But then fast forward a few years, it turned out that it wasn't as good as it seemed on the show. Almost everyone who was on that show that lost that significant amount of weight in such a short time actually ended up gaining all that weight back, or even ended up gaining more weight. What ended up happening was that they lost so much weight in such a short time that their body basically went into shock and went into like survival mode, so that their metabolism was crazy. So whenever they just got any food in, their body was like, oh, I need to hold on to this because I don't know when I'll get this again, because clearly I must be starving. That's why I'm losing all this weight. So then it became so much easier for them to start gaining weight. Like even the most simple foods that they would eat, they would just start gaining and gaining weight because their body was just trying to survive. So when I found out about this, I was devastated because I was like, man, these were the people that gave everyone hope that we could lose the weight, that we can actually transform our lives again. And to see them fall back just because they weren't on the show anymore made it seem like the only way you can get that transformation is if you were on that show, and as soon as you're off, boom, you're done. You go back to your fat life and everything's ruined again. And like it was kind of depressing, but it helped me accept a hard truth that real healthy weight loss that's gonna be sustained and keep you skinny, it's not gonna happen overnight, and it's not gonna happen in just a couple months. It might take a year or maybe even two, but in the end it's gonna be worth it, because then you have the rest of your life to be healthy and keep the weight off, instead of losing it all, being so proud, and now it's a fight for your life to keep it off because now it's so easy to gain weight. So that's when I had to accept that the healthy way to lose weight would be 1 to 2 pounds a week. And at first, I didn't want to accept that. It took me a while to accept that, like maybe even 2 or 3 years, because I was like, no, I was stubborn. I was stubborn. I was like, no, I'm still gonna lose it quickly. And unlike those people, I'm gonna keep it off. But that's not what happened. I lost a lot of weight. I gained a lot of weight. I lose a lot of weight again. I gained even more weight again. And that yo-yo effect would just keep happening until I was like, okay, you know what? I do have to take this seriously. But then one thing that did start helping me, 1 to 2 pounds a week isn't a lot. But when I really thought about it, it starts adding up. There's 52 weeks in a year. If I lost 2 pounds a week, that's 104 pounds in the year. And I was like, wait, 104 pounds? I would love to lose 104 pounds. So then that's when I was like, you know what? I need to stop thinking of this as I'm just losing 1 to 2 pounds. It's more like I'm taking the steps to get to my goals, and I'll actually be able to keep it off. Another hard pill I had to swallow was that I would have to get out of my comfort zone and my lifestyle would have to change. A lot of people now are saying how it's not just about the dieting or just the exercise regimens for like a little bit. It's really about changing your life. Like, are you willing to start eating differently? And are you willing to start being more active? These are the questions that we need to answer for ourselves, because everyone wants to feel better, but not many people actually want to do what it takes to actually get better. Because to get better, it's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable, and we're going to have to struggle. Because if it was easy and if it was comfortable, we would have already reached our goals by now. It's because it's not comfortable. It's because it's not how we are living now that things are going to have to change. That leads me to the next hard truth. What you eat matters. For a while, I wanted to hold on to the fact that it's just about working out as much as possible. I don't know what the saying is. It's something like muscles are made at the gym, but abs are made in the kitchen. Something like that. And everyone wants six-pack abs. And what I've realized is that what we eat has a lot more to do with how we are than how many weights you lift at the gym or how many miles you run on the treadmill. What we eat is so important. And I didn't want to accept that, but throughout my journey, I have learned that it is important. I've also had to learn that muscle training is important. I don't know if anyone else can relate with me about this, but I've been big almost my entire life. And losing this weight, I didn't want to do muscle training because I didn't want to get jacked or anything. Not like it's so easy to get there, but I really didn't want to get there at all. Because I was like, I don't know what it's like to be the small, skinny guy. I want to be small and skinny. I don't want to be some jacked guy but just not have fat. But what I had to learn is that actually having more muscle helps you burn fat faster, and it helps you burn calories even when you're not doing anything. I don't fully understand all of that, but what I do understand, it does make sense. So people had to convince me that doing muscle training is important, and the only way to get super jacked like one of those bodybuilders is to work out like crazy. And that's not what people were telling me I had to do. They were just saying that I need to do basic muscle training to make sure I build up muscles to better burn calories. I had to learn that my lifestyle was leading to this. I'm going to need to make sacrifices. And I had to accept I'm not Hannah Montana. I can't have the best of both worlds. I can't eat and live like a fat person, but look and feel like a skinny, healthy person. The two just don't work. So I had to accept that I will have to make sacrifices. I can't just eat whatever I want at like 2 a.m. and then just lay around for the rest of the week just hoping that it just burns off. I think when you're first trying to lose weight, it's important to understand yourself. For me, when I first tried to lose weight again, I took a week to just understand my own habits. I just recorded what I would eat, when I would eat, how much physical activity I would do. I wouldn't try to change anything and just see what kind of person I am. And what I found was I would eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and however much I wanted. And literally I would just sit around watching TV and doing nothing. You need to find what works for you. There's a lot of different diets, a lot of different exercise plans, a lot of different gimmicks to lose weight. But in the end, you're gonna have to understand what works for you best. Like for me, I'm okay with bland foods. I don't know if it's my taste buds or anything, but I don't really like sauces too much, or I don't like things that are just too sweet or too spicy or too salty, right? And there's two kinds of people. There's the people who eat to live and live to eat. The people who eat to live, they just eat because it's something we have to do. It's a necessity of life, and they might enjoy food, but they enjoy other things more. And then there's those people who live to eat. These are like the foodies. These are the people who are going to be constantly Instagramming their food, or they have lists of the foods that they dream to eat, or they're constantly craving things. Maybe their dream destination places is food. When they go on vacation, their number one priority is to find the best restaurant. You know, these people care a lot about food. And diets for these people are going to be very hard. So maybe they're going to have to exercise more to compensate for the fact that they just want to eat so much. Or just healthy versions of their favorite foods. For me, I am an eat to live person. It might look like I am someone who loves food so much, and people would often assume that about me. But for me, I actually just wasn't as active. and that's why I just kept gaining the weight. In terms of food, I didn't really care. Like, as long as it tasted fine and it filled me up, I was good with it. Sure, I have my favorite foods. Sure, I have cravings, but at the same time, I'm okay with just doing whatever. Like, for me, if I have to eat healthy food because it's good for me, I'll just eat it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't taste that great, because I use food more like a utility. I try to understand what benefits I can get from the food, and then I just eat it. So that's why I was able to do so many different kinds of diets, because I didn't really care about what I ate as long as I felt full. So I would just eat whatever. That's why I was even able to do that boiled diet. Most people can't just eat boiled chicken, boiled beef, boiled vegetables, boiled eggs. I didn't care. I just stopped because it didn't work. Another thing I realized about myself is that I'm really good at not doing bad things, but I'm not good at doing good things. I would always be good at not drinking soda, not drinking alcohol, not eating too much sugar, but I wouldn't be good at exercising regularly, eating regularly at the right times, weighing myself, having a good sleep schedule, and I would skip breakfast too. Breakfast didn't work for me. And if I ever ate anything in the morning, even if it was like something really small, like maybe a piece of banana or a slice of apple, my stomach would just hurt and I just would not have a good morning. So I just wouldn't even want breakfast. But that was good to understand about myself too, because I found out about intermittent fasting, where you don't eat for like 16 hours and then for the remaining 8 hours of the day you can eat. And I was like, wait, that worked, because I skip breakfast anyway, so might as well try that one. So that's what made intermittent fasting easier. Sometimes you might have to take baby steps. You might have to take one step at a time instead of just going all in, quitting junk food and carbs cold turkey, working out every single day. Maybe that will work for you, but it didn't work for me. I had to ease into it. I had to dip my toe into the pool, and then I could go right in. So, how much weight have you lost so far? Let me know. I really want to build a community of people who can share stories, share advice, help one another out, encourage each other. Share in the comment section.